Okay, so this is 한국말 series 2, naturally honorific verbs in Korean. So these are verbs that have extended family charts when it's coming to honorifics. So let's just look at the normal family chart right now. So for formality. So 하다 normally has 하십니다 and 하세요 on its honorific side, and 합니다, 해요, 해, 한다, and 하다 on its non-honorific side. So this is talking about yourself. This is talking about someone else that deserves respect. So let's look at 먹다. 먹으십니다, 먹으세요, 먹습니다, 먹어요, 먹어, 먹는다. So those are all the forms. Again, talk about yourself. We're talking about someone that doesn't need respect. Talk about people that do need respect, and that's people that are older than you. So extended chart for 먹다. There's another verb that means the same thing as 먹다 that's used a little more often in the honorific, and that's 드시다. So in its dictionary form, this is what it looks like. 드시다. So 드십니다, 드세요. 먹으십니다, 먹으세요. So when you're talking about someone else eating, the most common way you're going to hear it is 드세요, which means please eat, please drink this, or why don't you drink? It's a really polite way of saying that, drinking or eating. So 드시다, to eat, very honorific. So it's an extension of this. It's more honorific than these two, but they're kind of on the same level, just slightly different. You're going to hear 드세요 the most often, I'll tell you that much. And yeah, instead of using these two, I highly recommend using the top two. So an extended chart for 먹다 again. 잡수시다. So that's again just 잡수시다. That's its dictionary form. So 잡수십니다, 잡수세요, used much more often than these two below. And this is specifically to eat. The other one was more to drink or to eat. These two are specifically to eat, and they're going to be used much more often than 먹으십니다 and 먹으세요. Another one would be 자다, to sleep. 주무시다 and 주무세요 are used much more often than 자십니다 and 자세요, though I hear 자세요 fairly often. So 주무십니다, 주무세요. These ones are much more common than the other two again. 주무십니다, 주무세요. Again, these guys are talking about yourself. So now we're going to mix it up a little. Wait, one more verb before we do that. 있다 can mean to exist, and when it means to exist for someone else, you want to say 계세요 or 계십니다. Other ones are 있으십니다 and 있으세요, which you hardly ever see these two, so don't worry about them. These two are the ones you're going to see most often. 계십니다 and 계세요. So that means to exist in honorifics. Now, 아프다 means to be hurt. So to be ill would be 편찮으십니다 and 편찮으세요. These are used much, well, they're a lot more formal, so you'd see these ones a lot more. 편찮으십니다 and 편찮으세요. For to be hurt or to be ill, to be sick, that's what this one means. 편찮으시다. Conjugated would be 편찮으십니다 and 편찮으세요. 편찮으세요. So one more, I think. Yeah, then it gets kind of freaky. So 죽다, to die. Make sure you know this one, because this one you'd hardly ever see 죽으십니다 and 죽으세요. You're gonna see to go back, literally. 돌아가다 is to go back. If we put it in honorifics, it means to die, to have departed. So 돌아가세요, 돌아가십니다, 돌아가십니다, 돌아가세요. So this is a really depressing way of saying to die, to go back. I find it kind of interesting how they put it. Very nice verb. 돌아가십니다, 돌아가세요. You're hardly ever going to see these two on the bottom, so don't even worry about them. Okay, so 추다 now gets a little freaky. This is the one that I was kind of excited about. There's a way the rest of the verbs here are going to be humble. They're going to be the opposite of honorific, which is you being, instead of showing respect, you're lowering yourself. You're saying that, can I humbly do this for you? 주다 is to give. So anytime you see 주다, if you're talking to someone older, you can always replace it with 드리다. And 드리다 conjugated would be 드립니다 and 드려요, very basically. And what this says, can I humbly do this for you? 드립니다, 드려요. 드리십니다 and 드리세요 is, can you humbly do this? Humbly. That's the key word. It lowers yourself to say that you're not on the same level as the person you're talking to. And it's really nice because then they're going to think you're really polite. And you pretty much have to use it when you're talking to someone older. So, could I get something for you? A store owner would say, 뭘 드릴까요? Which means, what shall I get for you? You haven't learned 릴까요 yet? Or 릴까요? So, that just means shall. So, what shall I get you? 뭘 드릴까요? Again, he'll always use this one with you. Pretty much. So, 묻다, to ask, also has this form. It would be 어쭈다. And conjugated very simply would be 어쭈입니다 and 어쩌요. So to humbly ask a question. 어쭈입니다, 어쩌요. Wait, sorry. 여쭈입니다, 여쩌요. The 여, my bad. 여쭈입니다, 여쩌요. 데리다, to take along, also has this form. And that's 모십니다, 모셔요. So normally it would be 데립니다, 데려요, 데려, or 데린다. Lastly, we have 만나다. 만나다, to humbly meet someone, would be 뵙니다 or 뵈어요. So humbly meeting someone. When you want to be really formal and say nice to meet you, you would want to say 처음 뵙겠습니다. 처음 뵙겠습니다. This is the first time that we're meeting. So it's like a really humble way of saying nice to meet you. Pleased to make your acquaintance is a good translation. So, other words that are naturally honorific would be 밥, would be 진지, 진지. 집, house is tek. So 밥 means rice if you didn't know. So that's rice. 집 is house. tek is a formal way of saying house. 이름, name. 성함 is its honorific form. 나이, age, honorific. 연세. 아내, wife. 부인, wife honorifically. 말, words. 말씀, humbly, words. So any verbs related to speech that use 하다, because you have things like 설명하다, to say an explanation, can replace 하다 with 드리다. For example, you can say 설명드리다, which means to humbly give an explanation. Or you could say to give words, which is to speak, and that would be 말씀을 드리다. See how nice that is? That's really respectful right there. So remember that these honorifics exist, and you always want to use, here, let's go back up. You always want to use this one. Generally, that's the one Koreans opt for. 주무세요, so that was 잡수세요, 드세요, 계세요, oops, 편찮으세요, 돌아가세요, and then from here on in, it's probably something around here. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Bye.